Black Power. I want to thank those of you who are coming over to our website to continue to follow what we're doing. Those of you who are supporting in many different ways, especially those of you who have been coming out, standing with us. Those of you online and in the comments, destroying these clowns for chastising us, for actually standing up, for being exploited and abused and disrespected. But salute to all of y'all. As some of you may be aware, yesterday Mr. Lee put out a little BS statement. A lot of untruths, inconsistencies in his statement. If you notice, he opens by saying, very likely someone else wrote it, but they open by saying, I am the owner of Liquorland, blah, blah, blah. But then he goes down when he speaks about confronting. He says an Asian male confronted the group. He wouldn't even take ownership in that. But that is pretty much what is happening in that whole bullshit. As you see, the video doesn't have sound, so you can't really hear what transpired. But whether anybody believes it, we witnessed what happened. That's why we have been doing this. All right, we didn't go to Liquorland with no plan to do this, that, and the other. One of the comrades was actually about to run up in there and get some shit. And while he was up in there, we saw this shit unfold and we responded and been out there since. But since we've been out there, it has brought out a lot of the different issues concerning both liquor stores in general, because as folks have been saying for a long time, we got too many. Is making the issues related to alcoholism and other shit they slinging up out there, because not just the alcohol that's destroying us, it's tobacco, cheap tobacco, because again, that's part of the problem. If we had better quality liquor and alcohol and tobacco and even the junk food that's sold up out of there, all this shit is contributing to our destruction. So again, it's bigger than just Liquorland. Like I was saying, there's other businesses that people outside of our communities have control of right now, be it beauty supplies, hair products, some of these other discount stores. But there's a lot of different industries that we as black people have been supporting in major ways, but we have very little stake in. So that ultimately is what this movement has become, a movement to start addressing a lot of these issues that a lot of us have been talking about for a long time. So yeah, it started with disrespect, but on multiple levels we have been disrespected, because again, not only in this case are they selling poison, disrespecting folks, have invested very little, if any, back into the community. Because the one brother who's been in there the past few days, we heard they actually brought him over from another one of their stores, which is one of the tactics they always use. We seen it at Louisiana Chicken, Wiener Schnitzel, United Oil, but then not long after we're gone, those employees are gone. A sister was sharing with us yesterday, one of our comrade sisters in the Africa Town Coalition was saying she just had to leave her job because she had non-black supervisors over her treating her like shit. And again, that too often is what we get. And again, it's nothing we really have to debate, prove to other people. These are our experiences. Again, that is why we got to get away from white-controlled social networks, platforms. It was actually a great thing that I was suspended once again, because as a lot of last year we started pushing hard for all of us to start breaking. We introduced the idea of a universal news feed, which we are getting real close to being able to provide. Working with some outstanding brothers right now, some talented individuals with this universal news feed, connecting many different black websites and folks who don't have a website of their own, can still pick up this news feed through a phone app or whatever other device you are using. But then we don't have to be worried about the Facebook community standards, which allows other folks to call us niggas and talk shit to us. But the moment we snap back, they want to shut us down. So, again, big ups to y'all who are coming over, checking us out on our platform. We got more things coming, but right now, thank you. There's also been an ongoing issue that we out there disrespecting Mexicans, and again, anyone who's actually come by and been following what's happening. We had Manny come stand with us. We had a couple other Mexican brothers stand with us, but we've had a lot of Mexican people tell us they've had similar experiences up in that store and other places. So, folks talking about the people who have jobs up in there, but we have to stay focused on the bigger picture, y'all, because again, they want us to stay looking at these peanuts. That's how they keep us second class, because we don't look at the bigger shit. We don't make the power moves that need to be made, and we just settle for them giving us crumbs. When in actuality, we should be dictating to them the terms of what we want. Just like in Mr. Lee's response, he's now saying after all these years, he's going to contribute to a sports program at Jesse Owens and the YMCA. No. In a situation like his, where he has been poisoning the community, destroying lives, they need to be providing restitution to some of them lives that have been stolen, whether it's been drunk driving, whether it's been people who have been killed behind folks getting drunk and mad and there's some shit happening, whether it's domestic violence that's been happening, or whether it's cleaning up some of the people that everyone's fussing about hanging out there panhandling. Investing in some more shelters, some more rehabs that can help better these lives that they have been destroying. Some of these trolls that are coming on, we found that a couple of these brothers are half black and half Asian, so they are fighting to hold on to the privilege, the entitlement they have had over the exploitation of the rest of their people. Some of the rest of these trolls, if you really pay attention to what they say and go back and look at their profiles, you see very likely these are people who are hired to look out for Facebook interests, look out for corporate interests, look out for state interests. A lot of them are attempting to run psychological warfare. And again, they did it after they started a little before I was suspended, but they really kicked in after I was suspended. Because again, a lot of folks just get into the back and the forth, the subjectiveness of it, and don't look at the objectiveness of it. And understand, it's really an attack on the younger people to try to keep them trapped in, and people who are easily influenced, second guessing what's really happening and sympathizing with the ones who are exploiting them. But all of that shit's coming to an end. We've been telling y'all, when you stand up and do what needs to be done, concessions will be made. But we're not accepting no charity, which is basically what Mr. Lee is offering, which a lot of them throw at us once they ass gets exposed. But nah, Mr. Lee is going to be the first of many to be shut down and replaced with something that will actually benefit the community. As we've been saying, we are organizing to start taking groups up to these USC football games, because again, USC is one of the driving forces behind the gentrification in South LA, and we start disrupting, interrupting what they're doing, again, shutting down these Starbucks, other corporations and entities that are accommodating the gentrification, y'all. Concessions will be made. But again, we can't take charity. We can't accept crumbs. All right, we can disrupt it to the point to where we can take control of our community and make some major changes, y'all. So we most definitely gonna need y'all to come and be a part of that. If y'all think this liquor land is something, wait till you get around a bunch of drunk white folks. I'm talking about thousands, but it must be done, y'all. Those football games is how they make buku dollars. So if they interrupting our way of living, they cutting and disrupting our means of generating finances, we got to reciprocate that on all levels. As far as this Friday, again, we've been asking all of you who are following this to identify these predators in your community, get out there and be a part of this national blackout, and not only send a message to these folks, their time is up, sending messages to our people, it's time to start changing this, but actually start taking steps towards shutting them down. And those of you who are suggesting, we need to rebuild, replace, again, we need help with that. Because, this is what we do. Where a lot of you or doing things where you generate income and you know, got a comfortable financial situation, we get very little support in doing this. So yeah, we most definitely need those of you who are prepared, ready to start getting these properties to step up. But we also caution y'all. Again, we're not trying to replace these non-black predators with black predators. So we got a lot more conversations amongst ourselves we have to have, but we appreciate the support y'all been giving. Um, we see by the response, this is something long overdue. It's getting done. We just need y'all to continue to back us up, whether it's physically getting out here with us or whatever you can do from whatever position you were in. Because as y'all see, they got the sheriffs on us tough. Last week, the sheriffs escorted 2 LAPD officers over there. So very likely they got a task force plotting on shutting us down. But we know this is bigger than just us. And if enough of y'all get involved, ain't nothing they can do about it. All power to the people.